future trends, deep insights, industry leaders. This is the iGaming Next podcast with your host, Heidi Lofthus.
This podcast is brought to you by Pragmatic Solutions, the leading iGaming PAM platform with a modular approach, including many benefits like a fast, secure, and scalable API-based platform, integrated with all major third-party products and services. Make sure you head over to Pragmatic Solutions and join our smart thinking.
This podcast is brought to you by YOLO Group, bringing next-level innovation to the worlds of gaming, fintech, blockchain, and more. Serving millions of users worldwide, YOLO Group is committed to putting the customer at the center of the universe via a wide range of fun, fast, and fair products and services. YOLO continues to drive crypto adoption and fintech innovation within both the iGaming and entertainment industry via its array of disruptive B2C and B2B brands. To find out more, visit YOLO.com.
Hi, Mikolaj Jucewicz from Willam Hill.
Hello, Heidi.
Hi, and hi all the
Nice to see you.
listeners to our podcast, where I want to sort of pick your brain, Mikolaj, on the leadership program that you are or have, but also are setting up at Willam Hill.
Sounds great.
What do we need to know about you before we start?
That I can speak for hours about the subject, and we have just limited time, and I wish we can speak for a whole day, because the subject is really big, and I'm really passionate about growing people and especially leadership development. We know each other from Malta, you know. I was connected to Malta for a couple of years. I was working for Mr. Green that became Willam Hill. I was always within HR. I moved to London to Willam Hill group functions. We're heading up the digital development team. So we're delivering various leadership programs as well as talent programs. And apart from that, I'm a psychologist and coach. So I'm always adding a flavor of psychology into everything I do.
We have so many sort of points of interest in common. Where do I need to start? So, head of leadership development at Willam Hill, which is basically an organization of thousands of people.
Yes, when we speak about digital division of Willam Hill, we speak around 3,000 of people that work across operations, marketing, product, and technology, spread across Malta, UK, Kraków, Manila, and other offices. And then there's the retail function we get involved with as well, although currently working mainly within the online division, although we have another 8,000 of colleagues working within retail shops all across UK. So we speak about a company with quite a history of over 80 years on the market, growing internationally, acquiring a couple of years ago, now being acquired by 888. So quite a lot of change, and I think a lot of opportunities in the future in terms of learning.
And okay, so we're sticking to leadership and the program. What specifically do you think that our listeners want to get out of it?
Well, if I'm a potential listener of this podcast, I would like to receive some sort of advice around how to set up a good leadership program. And I'm not sure I will give you a perfect recipe for a perfect leadership program here, but definitely share some of my good practices around things that worked and didn't work. Also, how have we faced some resistance in terms of engagement, and what more we want to do about leadership development. So what I would like to achieve by listening to this podcast, I wish or inspiration, I wish I received 5 years ago when I was setting it up, all of that by myself or in collaboration with a couple of colleagues when we were building everything from scratch. So it's good to have a strong fundament when you're setting up programs, especially in a bigger organization. And hopefully listeners will get some inspiration to where to start or what to do, what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, I like the fact that you want to share, that this doesn't become like a company secret and, you know, the recipe of success sort of gets buried with with you guys. But I'm thinking also with like HR Connect. What if I had an HR Connect kind of network when setting up HR departments? It works, and it just gets more fun if we do things together.
Yeah.
That was just a little passes from. Where do we start? Like what's the program? An overview.
Yeah. When we think about leadership development at William Hill, we think about 3 core programs. I know that there are advantages and disadvantages of layering leadership programs into junior, mid-level, and senior, although it does make sense at some level, so I'm happy to be challenged on that. But I do believe that the programs need to have some core elements that are very, they are creating a journey around all levels of leaders. So they create alignment around how do we understand leadership and how do we provide learning in leadership area. But at the same time, there needs to be some sort of layers of either seniority or awareness. That is why we do have a Leadership Essentials program, which is designed to help junior leaders or newly promoted leaders to get an idea of what culture at William Hill is, how good looks like, and they can learn some basic tools, essential tools around leadership. So we have 10 virtual modules within that program, and I'm happy to talk about in detail about it later on. The next step is a leadership diploma. So once our leaders complete Leadership Essential journey, and it can take a couple of weeks up to a couple of months, it's a self-paced learning, then they progress into the program called Leadership Diploma, which is an Institute Leadership and Management accredited course. So we're very happy that actually the program has been recognized by third parties as well, confirming that the program delivers good quality. And this program is a fully face-to-face program. So then we are faced with a different level of awareness and knowledge within the room, because these people usually done essentials. They know a little bit about leadership. They know a little bit about the culture of William Hill, and they are ready to be challenged more and challenge others. So Leadership Diploma is a 4-day-long training program delivered over 2 different sessions in 2 different months. So there's some learning in between, and then there's reinforcement learning afterwards.
And these are like leaders from all different offices around the world coming together. So it's kind of a happening. Or you guys travel, or how does it look like?
Yes. So myself and my colleague Ola, who are right now delivering this program, we feel like rock stars on a tourney across the Europe, because right now, in the post-pandemic world, we need to create again all of these connections. At the same time, we need to be smart with the way we travel. So it's mainly us visiting offices right now. So we delivered a couple of programs this year already. We have 2 or 3 more later on this year as well. So myself and my colleague are traveling around. And once we visit office, let's say Kraków or Leeds, we try to create as diverse audience within that office as possible. So we invite colleagues from different departments to really create as much diversity as we can. And in the past, we were mixing more, so there were colleagues from different locations, and I do love it because then it creates locations outside of the country and division. But we really realized after lessons from pandemic that sometimes people from the same office don't have that much interaction as we had 5 years ago. So even just putting people from different departments within the same office already creates that, diversity that you would expect to have. And then just to finish off, there's also a 3rd program for the most senior population for our execs and directors. And this program is called Leadership Excellence. And we've just delivered it for 130 leaders. So it was quite of a big project. The proof with a final coaching session and a final 360 feedback. So I can't share much about it because I don't have results yet, but I did join it as well. And it was a good program delivered in a partnership with Franklin Covey.
Right.
I'm quite sure many listeners know Covey, the author of 7 Habits.
Yes, exactly.
So it was quite really a hybrid course. So we delivered it a little bit face-to-face, a little bit online, so in a hybrid way. So we really, Leadership Essentials is fully digital, then Leadership Diploma is fully face-to-face, and Leadership Excellence, it's hybrid. And I see advantages and disadvantages of each, so I like the variety that we have. So we are still assessing what's the future of this program. But it's been really good one external perspective as well to your leadership development, because majority of the courses at Willam Hill are delivered internally, but sometimes it's good to get inspired and invite some guests and consultants. So yeah, it's a good mix.
I want to sort of hear more about like methods, like 7 habits, and sort of how do you incorporate them. But before, just sort of, this could sort of, is it mandatory, or who's these 140 people in doing the excellency by will, or what's the plan here?
I really do want to say that we have quite a strong learning culture at Willam Hill. So when people receive an invite to a learning course, to a leadership course, they're usually excited to receive an invite, and we don't have much resistance, although there's always a resistance. I'm happy to speak about how do we manage that. But yes, in general, people love to learn, people want to grow. Across different industries, why people leave? They don't grow. So we need to give them growth. So when we give them growth, they usually say yes. So our courses are mandatory. I mean, they are mandatory based on the level, based on seniority. We do create different audiences. We do assign different courses based on the experience. And then we track completion, and we analyze, if there are any, teams, any divisions, any locations that are not engaging as much. And we, of course, and then speak to local business partners to see, what are the obstacles. But overall, there's huge hunger for learning. People are looking for, especially in terms of leadership diploma, people really love this face-to-face program. They see a huge value of it, and leaders nominate other leaders to join this program. So there's a huge advocacy, and I really, this is for me the strongest and happiest KPI, to see that leaders are actually speaking positively about the program and asking to include their colleagues in it. So for me, this is the biggest, something I'm the most proud of. But
so I joined Willam Hill. I'm a first-time manager. I do the first level. And then a few weeks later, I jump onto the next. Do you want to have I'm thinking in terms of time spent and sort of reflection and sort of practicing learnings. Is that part of your design in terms of setting the full program up?
Yes, of course. First of all, we want you, Heidi, as a new leader, to know what we give you. So the moment that you join as a leader, you receive an enrollment email that explains to you what learning is available to you. So there's a place called Leadership Hub on our learning platform that explains to you what is expected from you, what are the leadership vitals and the capabilities, what support is available, who you can reach out to, etc. So you've got a full suite, it's fully transparent, you know what to expect. And within the first month of your onboarding, you already receive an invite to the virtual program called Leadership Essentials. We believe that early enrollment is giving us highest success because there's the highest engagement. If you analyze engagement data, for sure that the first couple of weeks are the weeks of highest engagement. So we want to provide people all the information, but also immediately get buy-in. So we're inviting you for the first session by default. And then hopefully you will love this first session so much that you will self-enroll to the remaining 9. And if you are very determined, you can complete the first virtual Leadership Essentials program within just 2-3 months. Although what we see is that the majority of people does it within 6 or 8 months. So people do 1 or not 1 a week. So it takes some time. People can book their dates. They can, complete their learning the way they want to. And we don't really chase them that much. I mean, after 3 or 4 months, we send them a reminder. And then we usually see an increase in signups. We also have regular letters when we encourage and promote different courses. See that it takes half a year to complete the first level. And Once you complete it, you receive a nice badge and a nice email that says congratulations, now share your learning with others, etc.
And a picture of Mikko.
Yes.
Your happy face on
and
it.
yeah, and basically then you are on our list for the future programs. Although with leadership diploma, which is the second level, we don't have limitless possibilities to include people into it. So we do have a waiting list, and we need to prioritize people on that program. So of course it will possibly not happen that immediately after you complete one program you land on the another, but at least you know who to reach out for some support if you need some help, and you know that there is something waiting for you in the future. We do deliver this program for around 30 people a month. So thinking that our leadership population within digital people, it will still take us 2 years to certify everyone that course. And as you know, people leave and come and go. So basically we can deliver it on all the time, and we will always have some people interested in joining. But
yeah, absolutely. I have so many questions I need to filter. All right, so you have all these leaders. You have a queue system for these different levels and for all the different sessions. And you were saying, because I wanted to sort of dig in a little bit into the resistance. And resistance might not only come like, I don't want to do it because it's mandatory or because I don't believe in COVID strategies or whatever. But then there's also the time issue. So yes, you can finish the program in, what did you say, a month or something like that?
2-3 months, yeah.
Yeah. Is that sort of, how is this supported by Willam Hill as an organization that, you need to also, how much time are you entitled as a leader to put on training? Do you have like an X amount of percentages, or how supported is this?
Learning and growth development in general is part of conversations. It's part of performance management. So leaders are expected to have leadership development, their own self-development as part of their performance management objectives. And they know they need to commit to it. They know they need to learn to raise their capability, to stay relevant, to stay inspired, to know what to do, to know what's expected from them. Although, yes, every course requires some time. So the Leadership Essentials, the first level, it's fully virtual program, which means that you're quite flexible with when you book your sessions, when you do your e-learning, etc. You can do it wherever you want. It's quite flexible. And we have webinars each week. So, looking into my calendar, let's say for September, tomorrow I'm delivering leadership mindset, I'm delivering coaching, and next week I'm delivering inclusive leadership. So there's always something happening, and whatever you need, you can choose it. Also, we're giving them an option to skip 2 out of 10. We're encouraging them to do all 10, but if they skip 2 that they think are not relevant to them, they already get a badge. So it's a bit of a psychological trick around getting more buy-in to the course. And lastly, we do have a strong learning strategy for all colleagues outside of leadership. So we do have an initiative called Build 15, which basically is around spending 15 minutes each day on your development, on building your skills, building your capabilities. So we do encourage all colleagues to spend at least 15 minutes a day on listening to podcasts like this, or downloading some resources from our LMS, or joining a webinar once a month. It is widely supported. It is part of regular communications that we're doing. So it's not seen as a obstacle at work. It's actually an enabler. It helps people to grow and deliver. It's part of the strategy. It's part of conversations. It's part of performance management. So it needs to be part of the culture that you have. Because if you don't, then you will really meet a lot of resistance around joining these programs.
Can we go back to the queue? All these 400 managers, leaders, and 30 people a month. Is the leveling up required for you to sort of, continue on your career path? So I'm sitting here in the queue, I'm waiting, and I might have to wait for years. Am I then blocked?
Hopefully not. No, hopefully not. No. I mean, we're in regular conversations with learning business partners. We do have a business partner for operations, for technology, for international. So we are in a regular conversation, and we know that there may be some leaders in a huge need of development, and then we can prioritize them, Or there are some leaders that just done some other course, last year. Maybe there are some leaders that have joined some other workshops. So we do, are quite agile with that, of course. Yeah.
Because no, I'm thinking, if it's such a heavy machine with all these thousands of people and probably a lot of hundreds of leaders, then it becomes a heavy machine to sort of, it needs to be some kind of structure. How agile can you be in terms of, because it's all about fairness as well. But there you go.
Yeah, we're also training more facilitators for these programs, so it's not dependent on a small team. So with time, we're raising our capability as learning team as well. And I think this is a good advice for anyone listening as well. I would suggest you don't build programs that are dependent on one person. You need to have a learning team, or at least not learning teams, but as well leaders who are able to co-facilitate these sessions. So it becomes wider, it's not dependent on one or two people, delivering everything. There needs to be some sort of knowledge sharing around how you deliver that. So then exactly, we don't end up with 400 people on a waiting list. We don't have it at the moment because we've done quite a lot of job. We delivered, like this year, we already had 150 people on the program. So out of 400 or 500, I've done nearly half of it in 1 year. So we can do it, you can do it even with 2 people, but imagine having 6 or 8, you can do it quickly, right?
And just now, because we sit remotely, and you said we can actually have the same leaders from the same locations actually in the same workshop, then the conversations face to face after the trainings can continue and sort of help building that sort of culture as well. On that note, what happens after the training? Is analyzing, follow-ups? Do you go in and check, or what happens after the courses, programs?
So we do measure a couple of things. Well, first of all, we want to create community of leaders as well. So my goal right now is to create some sort of community and network for all the leaders that completed the programs. So they know that there are colleagues across the business that went through the same experience, and they can reach out to each other for peer mentoring and coaching. And this is something I'm so proud of introduced it, because we gathered a couple of groups this year, and now we gather them all together and they meet for 1 hour a month for reinforcement coaching. So we create this community of people that have got same tools, they went through the same program. Possibly they have similar challenges and they can help you. So we meet once a month for reinforcement. And I think it's very important when you design any program that it can't be just, one day and then off you go, good luck with that. You need to help people either receive some sort of e-learning, some reinforcement. They need to have some sort of commitment, something after the program, or you need to stay present with them and offer them some coaching or mentoring. But again, if your learning team is very lean, you need to create some sort of community. So what we've done is we created a leadership community, and they kind of support each other.
Otherwise, it becomes just a checkbox, and sort of you did yours to society and your employees. So all this sounds nice, planned, designed. It's been rolled out. Few steps are still sort of, you're finding out the top level 360 programs, etc. But I want to know if what have turned out not so well as you were hoping, or what has been the biggest challenge that you actually did not overcome, or sort of,
Yeah, I think the first relates to what we spoke already about what to do with people who don't complete these courses or don't want to join, or they say I have no time for it, or business is more important, or my delivery is more important than me joining these programs. And I think the best advice I can give as well to anyone facing such resistance is to accept that you can't please everyone, and there will be always some people that are just not interested in learning. The programs you provide them are not fit to their learning style. That is why the first advice as well is around building programs that are agile in terms of how people can learn. So there needs to be a mixture of self-paced e-learning with face-to-face discussions and groups where they meet and discuss and challenge each other. Sometimes you may need to provide an external training like we've done with Franklin Covey. So there's a big name on the market that people may feel attracted to, and because there's a reputation standing behind the brand and good content and great delivery as well. Sometimes you may need to apply for accreditation like we've done, Institute of Leadership and Management accredited one of our courses. So everyone that completes it receives a proper diploma that can be translated to CPD, and people can put it on LinkedIn or print wall or whatever. So
LinkedIn's their profile.
Yeah. So there's many ways in how you can really engage people within the programs. It's as well sharing testimonials. I think this is a huge thing, sharing stories of people that done the program and enjoyed it, learned something from it. So sharing stories and testing for me. Because sometimes we mainly focus on us as professionals explaining what are the benefits of joining the program. And we create a huge list of benefits, but I think what's more important is to show what they will achieve of community, not only knowledge. So how will it impact their job, or how will it impact their job if they don't join the programs? So what are the consequences of not focusing on their leadership development? And so showing this from different perspectives, showing benefits and consequences from different.
Thank you. Franklin Covey, are you using him like his theory in all the levels, or I want to sort of come to like methods. What methods or tools or like practices are you using?
Yeah, so Franklin Covey is quite an addition to what we offer. So let me cover it at the end. I think it's good to start from basics, really, and it may be helpful to someone who's right now thinking about designing leadership programs in their organization. So I think where you need to start if you design a leadership program is not to think about a nice company that already delivers a program like maybe Franklin Covey or any other training provider, and looking at their agendas and saying, oh, this is an amazing agenda, let me buy it or let me do it myself. This is actually a worse approach, because you roll out something you find interesting and you enjoy it, but you're not really sure if it responds to the business needs. So you really need to start designing any initiative from asking yourself, what's the culture here like? What's the business strategy? And what are the capabilities that leaders need within that organization? And this is quite an important question. You need to really create some sort of a list of capabilities, a framework that will be consistent across the whole leadership population and hopefully across all the colleagues. So what we've done a couple of months ago is we really aligned the whole leadership journey to 10 core capabilities, such as business judgment, coaching, well-being, awareness, and resilience, etc., etc. So we created 10 capabilities that we believe good leaders should possess. And all the courses are aligned to that framework. So then it helps us stay on the track, it helps us measure it, and it helps us choose subjects and also choose partnerships that really fit our framework. And that framework is built both on what good looks like in terms of professional knowledge around leadership and research, but also the culture and values within the company. So let's say our leadership capabilities include well-being awareness and resilience as one of the core capabilities. And maybe not every leadership framework has got something around well-being. But we at William Hill really value and we put huge focus into well-being, and balance is one of the pillars of our HR strategies. We believe that leadership development should have always a session around well-being and resilience. So it's delivered at all 3 levels of programs. So within Essentials, you've got well-being session. Within Leadership Diploma, you've got a different session about well-being. And then at the last level, you also go deeper into well-being. So it's all kind of, there's a continued capabilities across all the levels, and it's really aligned. And it was quite an enlightening exercise to do it, earlier on this year, to really see which content matters within what we deliver, which courses are nice to haves because we like to speak about it, and which ones are really impacting the way we operate as a business, and which ones are really important for us. And I'm not sure if I answered to your question, because I totally forgot the question. I went somewhere else. So
I want to know about methods. I want hard
methods. Yes. So methods. So first of all, you need to figure out, okay, what are the capabilities that you want to focus on, and then you need to think, how do you deliver it? So first you start from why. So why do we do it? So what are the skills that we really want to develop, and then methods. So Leadership Essentials program is delivered virtually. So it's a 1-hour-long webinars, really high-paced, lot of chat engagement, breakouts, surveys, not a lot of slides, but rather, getting the energy from people and then giving them one practical tool on each webinar. So something they can instantly apply after this 1-hour webinar. And then there's the e-learning that reinforces, gives them some extra recommendation, TED Talks, playlists, as well as self-reflective worksheet. So they can, after they do all of that, they can actually print out a worksheet and do a couple of exercises to reinforce that. So this is it times 10. Then there's Leadership, which is a totally different program. It's a program for mid-level managers, and it's delivered in locations, in a room. So then for me, it's the opposite. Like, there's no slides at all. There's not even a single slide in the whole program. 4 days, it's just a brain exercise. Their brains are on fire. This is how I kind of like to describe this program. Like, your muscles are sore, you feel tired. And this program is the same, but for your brain. Your brain is exercising for 4 days straight, because we are using a coaching model all the time. So every subject that we deliver, we're asking them to tell us what they think about it. We're asking them to challenge each other. We're asking them to come up. So we, as trainers, we're just facilitators. So this is a fully interactive, fully participant-owned situation. And then there's also coaching in it afterwards, as I said. And then with Franklin Covey, it's slightly different, right? Because then we bought a framework from them. So it's somehow external mind that fits the framework we wanted, but it's an external approach.
Exactly. And I agree to what you're saying. It's good to get that external with, the background and the theoretics, and just the fact that it is external, the investment in you as a leader. It's somehow perceived differently. But I think that the team it's kind of a team coaching that you're doing them with the middle segment, everyone have to sort of surrender to the knowledge that they believe that they have right here and now, to sort of understand how other managers are perceiving certain situations or handling certain discussions. So
we, of course, we give them a little bit of theory, of course, but I would say it's maybe 10 or 20% of what we give them. We want them to own solutions within their context. So Leadership Essentials program, the first step is more about giving them some tools and helping them to engage and understand. But the next level, Leadership Diploma, when you have people in a room, you need to take advantage of having 12 things in a room, and they need to really come up with their own thing. So I want to maximize their time and efforts and really help them facilitate it.
I like what you say about having certain core topics integrated into each levels, because not everyone comes in. Heidi comes in as a new manager, and I go all the 3. I might come in at any level. So you guys make sure I don't miss out, depending on what level I am at, to sort of follow the culture and the values of Willam Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Have you told us everything you want to sort of share about how to design a program? Or is there anything that we've missed? Have I missed asking you something?
No, I think it was really a great conversation already. And I hope I shared some of the slightly secret maybe stuff, but I think not really secret. I mean, I think it's good to share what we believe is good. And at the same time, it's good to stay open-minded about changing your programs, changing your approach, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, you know. For example, during pandemic diploma virtually for a couple of groups, and it didn't work as much as we wanted, so we changed the approach. We came back to being in a room. Or with Leadership Essentials, right now we deliver it in form of webinars, but we know that not everyone can commit to a webinar at a specific time of the day. So we're now videos with a, you know, short core concepts of the whole webinar, so people can listen to it anytime they can. So if there's any final thought for me, it's about staying open to changing your approach and not getting too comfortable with how you work, because I think we already years ago, and 2020 turned our lives upside down. Now we've maybe found our routines in it, but there's always something new coming up. The leadership is changing and the environment in which we operate is changing. So we, as learning teams, as learning professionals, and as HR as well, we can't get comfortable in the ways we think are relevant right now. So always reinvent, always improve what you do, always learn from others, and find out your own ways to deliver what you need to deliver, because leadership strategy within every organization will look differently, really.
And also as the employee or the manager receiving the training, like not to sort of the resistance, like to understand that this is not for the company solely. It's, or if it is from the company point of view, it's massively like the impact that you get on your personal approach on how you live your life and your own values and changes. But this we can talk about forever. Have I missed something else, you think?
No, but it's very true what you said. You know, the concepts we teach within leadership programs are applicable out of the work context as well. You know, like Marshall Rosenzberg, nonviolent communication, or transaction analysis, or coaching models. Anything related to preventing burnout, self-care, and well-being, it's applicable to in our whole lives. You know, leadership role is just one of the roles you have in your life, but it impacts all of them. You know, so we are not in isolation in organizations. The things we learn and test and interactions and relationships we build in organization, they impact all of us, you know. So it's as well a good selling point to leadership programs, that actually you can learn skills that you can apply anywhere.
And to sort of come to terms with yourself, because I hope you don't get angry with me, but one of our discussions around this has been like, but Mikolaj, what if people, you know, just realize, you know, through coaching, I speak with people that go like, maybe I should quit my job, and it's the job paying. And this is a very natural thing because it's so intertwined. Have you seen people actually leaving because they now realized that I am at the wrong place? Have you seen that?
Not really. I mean, there might have been a couple of people that left the organization during the program because they were just, you know, checked out somehow already, or they had different plan for their life. But if it would ever truly happen to me that I have a coaching session or a leader in a group that says, listen, thanks to this program, I realized I don't want to be leader anymore, I would wish them the best, truly, and I would be happy for them, because my purpose in my job is around helping people be more autonomous and authentic and accountable. So if someone says, leadership is not for me, I will be more authentic and more autonomous if I go back to being a specialist, developer, an analyst, whoever you want to be. Well done to you. You will do amazingly in that other career path, and you will give it to someone else who wants to try it out. So well done to you. No hard feelings, actually, big hug.
Exactly. I just wanted to bring that up because I was sort of, it's good to have that support, knowing that whatever you sort of get yourself into, your decision, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So once the 360 is managed and all analyzed, we hear back from you, I hope.
Well, I hope so. Then I can speak more about Franklin Covey program and my ideas around that, because I think external programs are amazing. They bring a lot of value, as we just said, but it's good to make them relevant to your culture. So I already have a couple of ideas in mind how to blend external program with your culture, how to make it really relevant, because I believe, you need to put always flavor of your culture into anything you do and make it relevant to people who are in your room, in your context.
Bravo. Very good.
Thank you, Heidi.
Thank you, Mikolaj. Looking forward to speaking again soon.
Exactly, yes. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.